You didn't hear any of the bang? Down. No. It's just you? Is there anybody else in the house? No. There's nobody else in the house, Joe. Just you. Please open the door.
Search warrant.
Please.
Are the officers going to be disciplined in any way, shape, or form then, or no?
Well, no, because they didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
What is up, X-Man? Gambit is back, and today we're going to be talking about the RCMP breaking down my door. But we should start from the beginning. So this all starts with my parents. They have these friends and acquaintances who are new to Canada, who had just moved here, and a lot of them were moving around a lot for either work or because they didn't like the places that they were staying at. But after they moved out of their old places, their old landlords were throwing out their mail. They weren't keeping it and holding on to it or letting them know, like, hey, I still got some of your mail, you should come pick it up. So my parents allowed them to use our address so all of their mail could be sent here to our home. Because we weren't going to throw it out, we were going to keep it and hold on to it. Which brings us to one guy. We'll just go ahead and call him Kumar. He was also using our address to have his mail get sent here, and he was working for this trucking company. And what happened was he didn't really like working there, so he wanted to quit, but the company asked him, like, hey, can you just do one more delivery? He agreed, so he drove to the US, picked up the delivery. It was in a sealed container. He didn't open it, drove back to Canada, and once he got to the border between US and Canada, the customs agents searched the container and it was filled with illegal drugs. The investigation was later handed over to the RCMP, and because he had our address on his license, they never once came over to our house and talked to us, asked us if we even knew Kumar, and in case you're wondering, no, he did not share the same last name as us. This house isn't even registered to him, it's registered to my parents. We're not related to him in any way, shape, or form, and so the RCMP got a warrant and then they broke down our door. Before I show you the footage, few things I need to mention. One, I can't show everything because of privacy reasons, but I will play some of the audio. Two, I don't know why, but for some reason the timestamp on the camera is 1 hour behind. It was actually after 8:30 in the morning when they came busting into our house. So if it really was after 7:30 in the morning, they would have already violated a garbage warrant. I'll explain why it's garbage in a second, but here's the video footage.
Police report! Police! You didn't hear any of the bang? Down. No. It's just you? Is there anybody else in the house? No. There's nobody else in the house, Joe. Just you. Are there any other kids or anything in the house? Is it just you? Okay. Let's go. I'll keep this through. You guys go ahead. Come on, please. Boys, let's go. Police search warrant! Got her? You're the only one out there? Okay.
I'm going downstairs.
Come on in, Bridget.
Wait, search for anyone downstairs?
Police search warrant! 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 Police. Police search warrant!
Alright, we'll look for the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, try and grab that. Police, open the door. Where are you at?
in one home? Yeah. It's all one house? Yeah. This can run across, our property is here?
I'm just telling you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's where I unplugged that. I have all the cameras, security cameras on it.
Now that he's here, we can just turn it off again? Just so we're not.
Please, search warrant.
Search warrant, please.
Explain whether there's 12. Please open the door.
Search warrant. Search warrant, please.
Well, we got to fix it. We're gonna hit it again. Please.
Search warrant.
Oh, there's, did you check this one that went up the stairs?
I didn't go that way. You came from that way. I'm not sure. That's why I said you go right, not going.
Yeah. There was one that went into like a cold storage unit.
Are you guys get down here? Yeah. Yeah.
Monster people live here. I don't know what houses. I don't know what. What's this? Yeah. Let's do that. The camera.
When I got home from work, X-Men, and I saw the front door broken and my mom's van was missing and my office door was broken, I thought someone had broken in to our house, kidnapped my mother, stole all my computer equipment, and just did some horrible things. Lo and behold, it was the RCMP who did all these horrible things. My mother's friends and acquaintances, they were home at the time, but they were like on in a different area of the house. When they saw me, they explained like, hey, don't panic. This is what happened. The RCMP broke down your door. And it was because, you know, this guy Kumar got arrested. His license had your address on it, so that's why they came over here to your house. Your mother went out to go get some new locks installed on the door. So we temporarily fixed the front door and my office door to make sure they actually locked properly because of how much damage they did. This is the damage they did to the front door. This is what they did to my office door. And here's the thing, X-Men. These RCMP idiots, only one of them left their card behind. This guy who's supposedly the team leader, here's his business card. None of the other idiots left their business cards behind or even wrote their names down on a piece of paper. And I have been in contact with the RCMP demanding their names and badge numbers and photos, and they haven't given given that to me since then. So not only did they break down our doors, but they also went around and started searching the place, disconnecting our cameras, which by the way, there's no legitimate reason to do that. The only person who had remote access to those cameras was my mother, and she was right there with them. The reason why my mother didn't open the door immediately is because she didn't go to bed until almost 4 o'clock in the morning, X-Men. She works late. Her work doesn't end until 2 o'clock in the morning. By the time she got home and did a little bit of work, she went to sleep. It was almost 4 o'clock in the morning, and less than 5 hours later, these idiots over here breaking down the door. And they're over here wondering, like, why didn't she go ahead and open up the door? How many of you could open up a door after working an exhausting 10-hour shift with less than 5 hours of sleep? She was not drunk, she was not high, she was not under the influence of anything, she was just exhausted. Oh, and by the way, X-Men, they had a 12-hour window to execute this warrant from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and they couldn't do this at 1 o'clock in the afternoon because they're idiots.
You're goddamn right.
All of this could have been avoided if they did a few things. Either 1, they didn't show up here, 2, they actually waited at the door, or 3, they sort of showed up here without the warrant, X-Men. Because here's why. I talked to both my parents. They would have answered the questions of the RCMP open and honestly. They would have told them, yes, we know this guy Kumar. No, he does not live here. This is a mailing address for him. Oh, and this guy right over here, Baldy, he goes ahead and disconnects our outdoor cameras, but not only does he disconnect them, he also ends up trashing our whole system, X-Men. Was on this entertainment system. The cells were all knocked over. He trashed the whole thing. I don't know what's going on through Baldy's mind to even go ahead and do something like this. Maybe it's because he knows that there won't be any repercussions to it. Oh yeah, and another thing. This is not the RCMP's jurisdiction. They went into someone else's jurisdiction to go ahead and do all this. There was no legitimate reason for them to break down the door. They didn't hear anyone scream for help. They didn't hear any evidence being destroyed. They didn't hear any toilets being flushed. Not just at the front door, but also my office door. My office was empty, X-Men. No one was inside. And as for the cameras, the only one who had remote access to the cameras was my mother, and she was right there with them. And here's the reason why I'm calling the warrant garbage. The warrant was garbage because they were looking for evidence for Kumar, who, by the way, again, did not live at this house. He never lived here, X-Men. They were trying to find some drugs, some guns, some money, and they found none of that. There was no marijuana plants, there was no half-naked people sorting cocaine, there was no meth lab, there was no acid lab, and there wasn't any large amounts of money or guns that they found, because there was none of that to find.
He ain't lying.
The only thing these idiots found was thousands of dollars worth of property damage that they caused. And I'm not even joking, X-Men. After all the repairs that were done, they caused a total of over $2,000 worth of property damage. Not only that, but people also come here to pray. So not only did they go ahead and cause property damage to an innocent family's home, they also desecrated a place of worship on top of that. So obviously, as you can imagine, I was angry. I immediately filed a complaint and got contacted a few days later by a guy named Paul. Apparently, he doesn't even have a last name. Afterwards, I was later contacted by Sergeant Lauren Seeley. Don't even know if I'm pronouncing her name right. We'll just go ahead and call her Lauren, wanting to go ahead and talk about this and take my complaint. I did record a phone call, so you're going to be hearing that now, but you're not going to be hearing the whole thing, because I'm not going to be releasing them until the RCMP hands over the names, badge numbers, public photos of all the idiots who not only showed up to our house, but anyone who I came contact with over email or over the phone, like Sergeant Lauren, along with any body camera and dash camera video. I have the right to go ahead and see all of that.
So I'm just looking at your, the form that you filled out here, and there's not a lot of details, and I'm just wondering, it says, I'm sure you remember what you wrote, but it says, complainant alleges subject members executed a search at the wrong address based on incorrect information and failed to conduct a thorough investigation beforehand. Can you just tell me a little bit more about what happened?
Yeah, like I said, I came home, went ahead and found my front door broken into, and then saw that my office door was broken into and my mom wasn't around. I thought someone went ahead and broke into our house, took my mom, and went ahead and stole all my computer equipment, only to find out later on from her friends that the RCMP broke down my door. Then later on, I found out that it was because one person who lives at our address, and I'm using air quotes because he doesn't actually live here, was apparently arrested for drug trafficking. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Well, I haven't, like, before I look at the file, I just wanted to get your take on things. So obviously, you know, one of our units was executing a search warrant at a residence, from what I'm hearing, from somebody that stayed at your place but didn't necessarily live at your place.
Yeah, no, he did not live there. Our address listed as their residence, they don't actually live here. My mother was just trying to help them out because they were moving around a lot for work, and their landlords would either draw out their mail or end up losing it from the previous places that they stayed at. So my mother just told them, like, you can list your address as our place so that way we can collect your mail and we won't lose it. Apparently someone was arrested for drug trafficking, and rather than doing a thorough investigation by making sure that individual actually lived here, which, by the way, he did not, they busted down our door. They could have done a thorough investigation and actually had like undercover units outside scoping the place out, or just politely knocked on the door and asked, like, do you know this person? Does he live here? Because his address is listed on his driver's license as your place. Because I guarantee you that they never would have done this if the address on his license belonged to Doug Ford.
Right.
Well, so he actually does agree with me, X-Man. And this is the point that I also want to, like, really hammer home. Do you think the RCMP would have busted down the door if Kumar's address on his license was that of Jagmeet Singh's house, Justin Trudeau's house, or Pierre Poilievre's house?
Well, the answer is no.
If the answer is yes, and they did that, and just like us, they found absolutely nothing, no drugs, no guns, just thousands of dollars worth of property damage that these idiots caused, and the media picked up on it, what were they going to do? How are they going to explain it? And just imagine the headlines. Oh, RCMP suspects Canadian politician of being a drug dealer. It would look so bad for both parties involved. It would look bad for the politician, and it looks bad for the police.
It's facts! It's facts! It's not facts. These facts are not facts.
Yes, they should have done some sort of surveillance to see, like, whose vehicles were at the residence, right? Some other measure other than just taking at face value that he actually lived at the place that was on his driver's license. And so obviously nobody was home at the time that we executed the search warrant.
No, my mother was home. See?
Oh, your mom was home.
Yeah,
okay.
And she just woke up to some banging, and again, I have this on video. The officer is just like yelling at her, asking her why she didn't come to the door. Apparently, he couldn't see that she was basically a zombie because she was exhausted. She was still in bed asleep, and I want to correct this because my first statement was a little bit incorrect on the time. It wasn't 10:45. It was around 8:30 in the morning. They had 12 hours between the hours of 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. to execute the warrant, and rather than doing it at like 12 o'clock noon, they did it at 8:30 in the morning. They just busted down the doors. One of them disconnected our security cameras, and another camera at the front entrance was also disconnected, which, can you even do that? Is that even allowed to be done?
Yes. Yes, that can be done. If there's a warrant, it could have been included in the warrant.
It's not included.
I'm not sure if it was, but
it's not it's not included in the warrant. All I see is like they're looking for like bank slips, money transfers, jewelry, any electronics. Does this mean that they could have seized my own computer setup for this? But,
yeah, it does.
X-Men, my computer equipment has nothing to do with Kumar or anyone else. I don't even allow my parents to use my computer. Why do you think I always keep my office locked? I don't want anyone messing with my stuff. So this guy Kumar doesn't even have access to my computer. So what makes them think that they can just go ahead and take my computer equipment? There's nothing on there for them. I'm not involved in any drug dealing. The warrant was for Kumar and evidence against Kumar, which, by the way, none of it was here. And look, I'm not a lawyer or anything. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. Let's say that Kumar was storing some of his stuff over here. Like, he came to us and was like, hey, I got all this excess stuff that I can't keep at my place. Can I keep it here at your house? Obviously, my parents would have said yes because we do have the space. But here's the thing about that. But this is where I'm not 100% sure. But if you are a lawyer, you can leave it in the comments below. Our house is a private residence. It's not a storage facility. I think police do need warrants to access storage facilities if they don't get permission from the actual, like, owner. And I'm not talking about the property owner of the storage facility. I'm talking about the person they're renting it out to like, search it. But our house is not a storage facility. So if anyone kept anything here that we didn't know was illegal, like boxes of stuff, and we just thought it was closed, and the police were like, can we search it? and we gave them permission. I think they could legally search it. You see, this is where talking comes in handy, and plus, it's less violent than breaking down doors.
You're goddamn right.
Are you familiar with, like, what the process is for police to get a search warrant for a residence?
They have to have some sort of probable cause.
I'm going to look into what investigation was done, and we're going to determine, like, if it was sufficient or if it wasn't. If they could have done more to gather additional information to say that this person either did or didn't live at your house. What do you want to happen? Like I know we're just at the very beginning stages of this, but do you have an idea of, like, where you want this to go? What you would like to see happen as a result of this complaint?
Yes, I would like the officers held accountable, okay? Whichever ones did the most damage, like disconnecting the cameras, breaking down the doors, they should be fired and prosecuted. This is just straight up breaking and entering. Like I said, even though they had a warrant, the warrant is for an individual who does not live here, okay? Let's say that he did live here. He did not live here at the time, okay? Let's say he was renting out this property and we moved in like 2 months. We moved in later on, like he didn't change his address on his license. If they went ahead and broke into the house that he used to live at, they're not going to find anything that belongs to him because the new owners, us, would have moved in and gotten rid of everything, and or asked him if he wanted any of that stuff. Okay, we were never involved in any sort of drug trafficking, and like I said before, like, because your officers stayed hours afterwards. Like, again, my security cameras show that they stayed like 2-3 hours after finding out that they screwed up big time.
And what day did the police show up and do this? Like, what day of the week?
On a Friday. This was on August 1st on a Friday at around 8:30 in the morning.
When I asked you what you would like to see happen as a result of this, you said you wanted, the RCMP members who damaged your property. Did they cut the security camera cords or just disconnect it?
They just disconnected it. I have one of them on camera admitting to doing it.
Okay. You said you wanted them held accountable, and then you said, like, charged and prosecuted?
Yes, because, again, this is breaking and entering. Look, just because they had this warrant doesn't mean that the warrant is 100% like bulletproof. Like I said, we had nothing to do with the drug trafficking. The individual who didn't live here, or suspected, I should say, allegedly, because it's still going through the courts. He was suspected of drug trafficking. It's still going through the courts. He didn't live here. And I seriously do want them held accountable because, one, they did not do a thorough investigation. Two, they just went ahead and broke down the doors and didn't even bother to, wait for my mother to even come to the doors. They could have continued to bang. They could have continued to knock. That would have been fine. Or ring the doorbell. But that does not give them the right to go ahead and just bust down the door when there was no, probable cause. They didn't hear any yelling, screaming, or any, toilets being flushed to indicate that drugs were being, I looked at the cameras. There were at least 5 of them, but only one of them, this guy, Zidu, I don't know even know how to pronounce his name, left his business card. I also want the names, badge numbers, and photos of, who was involved in this, because this is ridiculous. I also want the body camera and dash camera video as well, because honestly, I want to know what the hell that they were saying off camera. Because like I said, they disconnected the camera, so I don't know everything that was said between them.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you guys just feel very violated and angry with how everything transpired.
Well, yeah, extremely. We got 2 doors, my office door as well as the front door, that we need to get fixed. I want to be clear, I'm not anti-police. I do believe that police are good for our society, but if they're going about it the wrong way like this, just going ahead and assuming, oh, this guy's address says he lives here, let's go bust down his door, rather than doing a thorough investigation, that's bad on so many levels. Plus, how long would that have taken? Apparently, like I said before, the court case is still going through. They could have scoped out the house for a couple days instead of busting down the door. Even if they came in full uniform and asked, ma'am, do you know this person? We arrested him and his address said so-and-so, that he lives here. We just listed his house. He's only listed living here just so he can collect mail. That's it.
Okay. So I'm going to look into what investigative steps that they took. At face value, I know through all the search warrants I've written in the past that if it doesn't meet a certain threshold, it won't get signed. Like the judge won't give you authority. The search warrant won't get signed by the judge to execute it. You've got to, if it's not investigated properly enough, then it doesn't meet the bar and you've got to keep investigating. So the fact that it was signed leads me to think that there was more than just like using a driver's license to confirm an address, but I'll look into it more and just confirm what was done. And then if that's the case, like if it did meet the bar, if there was more than just using a driver's license, then that does give the police a lot of authority when executing it. But a lot of those authorities tend to be written in the warrant as well, like whether we can use, whether we have to announce ourselves before we come in, whether we can use force to enter, what hours it can be executed within. Like, does it have to be daylight hours or can it be nighttime? And I know you said it was 8 to 8, like some daylight. So let me look into it, and yeah, and I'll look into it, and I will get back to you within the next probably couple weeks, if that's okay with you. Is there anything else that you feel like is important to tell me, or anything that I haven't asked that you think I should ask you?
No, that's basically it. But like I said before, the only thing that I want as well, besides them being held accountable, would be the first, last names, the badge numbers, and the body camera video. Because like I said, I want to know what the hell was going on, but prior to them actually coming on our property.
Well, nobody gets that. That is, our body cam videos are reserved, even if they were wearing body cams, I'm not sure if they were, are reserved for like disclosure for court. So unless you've been charged with something and then going to court, our body camera videos would be in your disclosure package and that would all come out in court. We don't just give body camera videos to anybody who asks for it, right? So
but I'm not anyone, Sergeant. I'm the person who lives in a house that they broke into. That's the big difference. Like, I am involved in this, not as like
you're right. Yes, you are very much involved in this, but we have to determine, was it a lawful entry? And if there was a search warrant, then there was, which means they didn't break in. They were in the execution of duty. So they were lawfully allowed to enter your residence if there was a search warrant. But the key piece that you've brought up is like whether or not they did a good enough investigation to warrant going into your house. That's the key piece. And if they didn't, then there's something that needs to come of that. There needs to be repercussions. There needs to be training. There needs to be accountability, 100%. If they did, though, then they were doing what they were lawfully allowed to do. Like a judge allowed them to do that. But let's not put the cart before the horse. Let's find out if there was a sufficient amount of investigation that went into getting the search warrant in the first place. And then we'll take it from there.
Okay, then.
Okay, so I'll be in touch. You've got my email address. Reach out to me if any more questions come up, or if you want to add anything else, or whatever. And as I look into this more, I'll keep you updated. Okay?
Yeah, okay. For the record, the call took place on September the 1st, Labor Day, at around 10 a.m. So that first phone call went well, so you would actually think that some type of repercussions would be happening to any of these RCMP idiots who showed up to our house.
Well, the answer's no.
So Lauren ended up calling me back, and this is what she had to say.
Okay, so I've got an update for you on your public complaint. I was able to track down the information to obtain a search warrant for the file that is being investigated, for the warrant that was executed at your residence. And there were sufficient grounds to get into your residence, which is why a judge signed off on it in the first place. So I wanted to make sure, because it's not impossible to think that that a search warrant maybe like fell through the cracks, or there wasn't sufficient grounds and it wasn't reviewed properly by a judge. I didn't want to rule that possibility out, so I looked through the grounds and there were absolutely sufficient grounds.
Yeah, I do not believe that one single bit, X-Man, that there was sufficient grounds, and I'll explain that all later, but let's continue.
To get into your residence. So the search warrant was executed lawfully.
Like what? What were the grounds?
I can't tell you the grounds because the information to obtain is in court currently, and it's sealed. The document is sealed. So, which means I'm not allowed to talk about the grounds. Nobody is. Like, you can go to the court and try to get access to the warrant, and the court is going to tell you this is a sealed warrant and nobody has access to it. And that's a court. That has nothing to do with the police. That's a court decision.
So I'm not gonna know exactly what was the reason for them to, like, just break down the door. That's it.
Not at this point. If you follow the case, once the case goes to court, then chances are, so the way a sealing order works on a warrant is that when we write a warrant that has information in it that also pertains to other investigations, the police apply to seal it. Sometimes the court accepts it, sometimes it doesn't. So the court, in this case, accepted the sealing order, which sealed it in court currently. As this file goes to court and the suspect or the person accused or charged goes through their process, their lawyer is probably going to ask to have the warrant unsealed at some point, in which case there'll be a bit of a hearing to argue whether it should or shouldn't be unsealed. When it does eventually become unsealed, then that information becomes accessible as well. So it's just not accessible at the moment.
Okay, well, are the officers going to be disciplined in any way, shape, or form then, or no?
Well, no, because they didn't do anything wrong by executing the search warrant.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Actually, let's talk about the facts for a minute. Number one, the suspect did not live here. He never lived here. I don't know how much more convincing they need to understand that. Like, them showing up to our house when he did not live here is just ridiculous. Number two, they found nothing. There were no guns, there were no drugs, there wasn't any money. The only thing criminal that they found was the thousands of dollars worth of property damage that they caused. Number three, they had no reason to break down any of the doors. They didn't hear anyone screaming for help. They didn't hear any noises. They didn't hear any toilets being flushed or anything like that. Not at the front door, not at my office door. And like I said before, no one was in my office. And as for like the front door, my mother was fast asleep. Okay, she was in bed. She was passed out. She was exhausted. She was asleep for less than 5 hours by the time she was awoken by a bunch of idiots banging on the door like animals. And number four, they had no reason to disconnect any of the cameras. They may have had this feeling that someone was quote unquote watching them, but that's not what was going on. The only person who had remote access to those security cameras was my mother, and she was right there with them. Okay, so they had no reason to unplug them. They could have just kept them rolling.
It's facts! It's facts! It's not facts. These facts are not facts.
And here's the thing though, in the first phone call I had with Lawrence, he thought no one was home at the time when the police broke down our door. What was their plan going to be if no one was home? Were they just going to leave the house as it was with all the property damage done to it?
That's a good question.
Even though they busted down the door, because like I said before, there may have been cause for a warrant, but there was no probable cause for them just to like break down the door. There was no one screaming for help, no toilets being flushed, indicating that someone was flushing away drugs or whatnot. My mother was still asleep. Like I'm asking right now, why couldn't they do this at like 1 or 12 o'clock in the afternoon? They had a 12-hour window to execute the warrant, and yet they do it like a little 30 minutes after.
Well, because they have the authority to. So they didn't have the authority to do it in darkness at night, but they did have the authority to do it between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. So they were fully within their right to execute it at 8:30 in the morning. And quite honestly, that's first thing in the morning is generally when I've ever executed a warrant. Because to me, it means that people tend to be home, right? Like, if you're looking for a certain type of evidence, you tend to want the people who may have that evidence to be home. So in my experience, I've always executed a warrant first thing in the morning unless we had a reason, like extenuating circumstances, to execute it later in the day. So it's not uncommon that they executed it at 8:30 in the morning. But your complaint, sir, is about not having grounds to get into your house.
Yeah, because like I said before, the suspect did not live here. So there was no reason for them to even come over here. He was just using our address as a giant P.O. box to get his mail, like other people were. We had no idea that it was going to lead to this. If we did, we never would have, let him do it in the first place.
So that would imply that the issue is with the suspect, not with us doing our jobs. If he's indicated that your address is his address, and he would have had to do that on more than one occasion in more than one way, right? Having one ground to get into a house for a search warrant isn't enough. There's got to be more than one. So the issue, sir, is with him, not with us following him.
Right.
But what about breaking down the doors? Was that okay or not?
It is okay, because they had to get into the residence. And to be fair, I don't know if you stand outside your residence, can you reasonably hear a toilet flush or not flush? It's not reasonable to me to say that, they couldn't hear a toilet flushing. Well, there's not many houses that you can stand outside and hear a toilet flush or not, right? Yeah. So what is on the other side of that door when they're executing the warrant, which they have all the grounds to do to get into, they're allowed to use force to get into that residence for the preservation of evidence.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
If people are walking, you can hear footsteps. Footsteps are much louder than a toilet being flushed. And yes, X-Men, this is at the front door, because I've entered from the front door and I've heard people walking around. When someone's home and they're walking around, I can hear them walking from the front door. If these RCMP idiots can't hear that, they need to go get their ears examined, or better yet, go get their heads examined. Because there's clearly something wrong with them if they think it's okay to act like this.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Whether they had a warrant or didn't have a warrant, X-Men, they still would be in the same position that they are now. The only difference is if they didn't have a warrant and they actually waited, they wouldn't have to be paying for our property damage. My parents both told me that if they showed up, whether it was with a warrant or without a warrant, they would have opened the door, they would have let them in, they would have talked to them, they would have told them everything, and they would have let them search. Okay, they have nothing to hide. But guess what? The fact that they went ahead and did this with zero regard to our property, to our home, to my mother, who was just fast asleep and had no idea what the hell was going on, just shows that they are completely unfit to be police officers. They have no business being police officers anywhere in Canada.
You're goddamn right.
Yeah, but if they just waited a few more minutes, or like I said before, just did it in the afternoon when my mom was actually awake, they never would have had to do any of that. So, but look, are they going to be paying for the damages done to our house or not?
Well, that's not what you asked for. Your complaint is about having grounds to get into your house, not that the police broke the door. Okay, you put nothing in your complaint about breaking the door. I'm only allowed to investigate what your complaint is, which is the
use of force.
That's not what your complaint was. Your complaint is they didn't have the grounds to get in.
Is the RCMP going to be paying for the damages done to our house during the execution of this warrant?
No, we're not, because we had the grounds to be there. If I were you, I would ask your friend who put you in this situation to pay for your door.
X-Men, Kumar is not my friend. I never said he was my friend. I don't know why she's lying over here and calling him my friend. I barely even know any of the people who keep showing up to our house who are friends and acquaintances of my parents, X-Men. I don't want to talk to any of them, and I barely do.
He ain't lying.
It's just that according to my mother, when the RCMP did break down the door, they did say that they were going to pay for the damages.
You know what? Let me ask. Okay, let me see if that was communicated to her. Yeah, let me ask, and because if it was, then I don't think it's fair that we would say that we would do something and not follow up with it. So let me ask to see if a conversation about repairing the damages was had on that day. and then I'll let you know. Because if it was, I think it's reasonable that we have more of a conversation about it. If it wasn't, then, like I said before, like, it's your friend who put you in this position. We were just doing our jobs. Okay, so let me look into that and give me a couple days, and I'll get back to you about that.
For the record, it's Tuesday, September 23rd. That was all established, by the way, X-Men. The RCMP said that they were going to pay for our door, and Lauren did go ahead and contact them and talk to them, and they did go ahead and promise my mother that they would pay for all the damages. Again, all of this could have been avoided if they didn't damage our property to begin with, because now they're in the same position that they were before. They didn't find any evidence here connecting Kumar to any other sort of crimes.
You're goddamn right.
Later left for you. Does that have like an email address on it that you can email the invoices to?
Yeah, it should.
Okay, perfect, because that's all you need to do to get the cost of your doors covered, okay?
Yeah, okay.
And when it comes to the public complaint, I have to, like, it's submitted as unfounded, but you also have the option to withdraw it if you want. Is that something that you want to do?
No, I don't want to withdraw it. I would rather keep it on the record, just in case if, something else was to happen in the future.
Sure, it stays on the record anyway, it doesn't matter. But if you don't want to withdraw it, that's totally fine. I'm going to write up the final report and say that, because like the actual complaint, as you recall, is that they didn't do a thorough enough investigation. So that aspect is unfounded. But you do get the cost of the repairs to your doors covered. So I think that works out. Is there anything else that you're looking for before I conclude this file?
No, that's basically it.
I honestly don't know if the members who did the warrant at your house were wearing body cams or not. So, like, other than the damage to the doors, like, what are you concerned about any other of our members' conduct while at your house? Like, were they disrespectful to your mom?
Well, mostly it was just like as soon as they busted in, they asked like my mom, why didn't she answer the door? And as they saw, she was like half asleep. She had no idea what was going on until like 30 minutes afterwards when she finally was able to wake up properly. And that's basically it, because I don't even know why they would ask her that question. It's because police officers work day shifts, night shifts, so if they're working all night, they're gonna come home and sleep all day. And like I said, it was 8:30 in the morning when they executed the warrant, or a little after 8:30 in the morning. And just that in particular, as well as just breaking the my office door down, because they could have just asked my mom if she had a key, or she could have just grabbed my spare keys. She knew where they were, so it wouldn't have been like much of an issue there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know how many times they knocked before they came in, and so if they felt like they were outside knocking for more than a couple times, and then realized that there was somebody in the house, I would also ask them like why they didn't answer the door. But maybe they asked before they took a full assessment of the situation and realized that she was still in bed. But as long as they weren't like disrespectful or abusive in any way to your mom, and there was no other damage other than the doors. And I just want you to know too, like, you did the right thing by making a complaint. Like, that's the reason why we have these processes, is for people like you to voice your opinions about and your concerns about the way we conduct our investigations and our work. So I hope you feel like you did the right thing by reaching out in this way. Good. So I'm going to finish up the paperwork on the public complaint side, send the invoices for the repairs to the doors to the lead investigator. And if you have any issues in that front, just reach out to me again, and I'll see if I can help you out.
Yeah, okay, no problem. For the record, that conversation happened on Wednesday, September 24th at 3:04 p.m. And that brings us all here today. Now I'm making this video. We sent the invoices to the officers a long time ago. Still haven't gotten our money yet. They're either going to end up paying it or they're not going to end up paying it. Either way, if they don't end up paying it, this is just going to be worse for them. And as for Kumar, in case you're wondering, his case is still ongoing. He's innocent until proven guilty, obviously, which is more that I can say about the RCMP, because the way that they conducted this, it's like they threw innocent until proven guilty out the window, because like I said before, they never came to our house to talk to the homeowners, my parents, and ask them why this guy's address is listed here. Because again, my parents, I would understand if they did this to like someone who has a history of like dealing drugs, but my parents do not have a history of dealing drugs, buying drugs, or anything of that sense. So I don't even think they cared about doing a proper investigation. Listen to me very carefully on what I have to say next. If anything happens to me and my family, anything at all, our house gets robbed, vandalized, cars get broken into, stolen, vandalized, our bank accounts get shut down, another police department shows up and breaks down our door, attacks us, we end up losing our jobs, you can suspect the RCMP of being responsible. Now I know you may be thinking, Gambit, don't you think you're going a little bit too far? Do you really think the RCMP or any other police agency would retaliate against you simply because you're posting a story talking about this incident? Yes, because the same thing happened to a man in Alberta. The RCMP attacked a disabled man.
In April of 2023, Alberta Rights Media was filming from his parked vehicle. Shortly into his endeavors, RCMP officer Andrew Smith and his partner arrive on scene.
Hi there, how are you today? We got a call about you.
Me? For
yeah,
what?
because you're videotaping people leaving the parking lot, so they think it's suspicious.
Oh my gosh.
So do you have your license, registration, insurance for this vehicle, sir?
Sorry, have I committed a crime?
Yep.
I've committed a crime?
Yep.
And what crime would that be?
You're being suspicious, so we're investigating.
Is that a felony or a misdemeanor?
It's neither of those two things, because
What's
this
your name
isn't
and
the
badge
US.
number?
Officer Smith claims that suspicion is a crime. However, similar to the United States, a police officer can only arrest someone if they have reasonable grounds to believe that the person is committing, has committed, or is about to commit a criminal offense, and mere suspicion does not provide reasonable grounds for an arrest. He also claims that the alleged crime of being suspicious is neither a misdemeanor or a felony, because, quote, this isn't the US.
You're being suspicious, so we're investigating.
Is that a felony or a misdemeanor?
It's neither of those two things, because
What's
this
your name
isn't
and
the
badge
US.
number?
Which is odd, as the Canadian criminal justice system uses both terms to categorize the severity of a crime, but suspicious is not a crime in either nation.
And what would you like today, cupcake?
Your license, registration, and insurance for the vehicle.
No, not gonna happen.
It is gonna happen.
Okay. You
It
tell
is.
yourself that. You can leave me alone, man. I'm here absolutely doing nothing wrong.
You've been called in as a suspicious person, so I'm going to...
Have I committed any crime?
I don't know.
Well, you don't. Well, when you figure that out, you let me know, okay?
Okay, license, registration, and insurance, please.
Absolutely not.
So the problem is now you've been called in, so we have to do an investigation.
Yeah, you do
right?
your investigation, sir. I'm not stopping you from that. You can do that. What's your name and badge number?
Constable Neufeld, regimental number 609.
All right. So as your officer just explained, he said because I'm filming,
That's
which
what
is
people
my
called you in.
constitutional Canadian Charter of Rights, constitutional. I'm engaged in a constitutional activity. He cannot deem this a crime. If he wants to take it there and escalate it, we absolutely can. But this little cupcake right here ain't gonna do shit.
Also similar to the US, in Canada, you can legally record people in public places when there's no reasonable expectation of privacy, such as sidewalks, streets, and public areas. Furthermore, there are no criminal sanctions against photography or filming people or property that are open to public view.
But you know what? If he's gonna escalate it, then I'm not gonna be nice to you.
But he hasn't. Like
He has. He just told me that I've committed a crime.
No, I don't.
This little here just told me I committed a crime.
The secondary officer continues to try to de-escalate and communicate with the driver, but his words and the confrontation in general appear to enrage Officer Smith, who now attempts to smack the phone out of Alberta Rights Media's hand.
This little here just told me I committed a crime.
I didn't hear that one, but here, can I try to explain it to you?
You just touched my do it again. Do it again and see what happens. Get the fucking hand out of my car. Get out of my car. Get out of my car. It's on video. It's on video. You put your hand in my car. I can't step out.
The other officer stands by and does nothing, and to make matters worse, the driver is a paraplegic and cannot make use of his lower extremities.
Okay, well, you're under arrest for obstruction.
Nope, get out of here, man. Don't touch me. Get the out of here. I didn't commit no crime.
You are under arrest.
I don't give a You can't obstruct me if I didn't do nothing. Get the out of here. You got out of my. You put your hand in my car without a fucking warrant. You fucking idiot.
Officer Smith now lunges for the driver's cell phone, and as a result, the recording is ended and the phone falls to the ground, damaging the screen. The man alleges that the officer then grabbed his arm, bending it into a pain compliance hold known as a wrist lock. He was then cuffed to the steering wheel while the other officer observed without intervening. Alberta Rights Media claims that shortly after the officer's outburst, they offered to let him go and to call it even. It's unknown what happened during this time, as the RCMP won't release the dashcam footage, though it is clear that Officer Smith is wearing a component of their commonly used dashcam system. However, we do know that the driver was released, as he began recording after the officers freed the man.
Oh man, look at this. I just assaulted. This guy just f***ed me up, man. Gotta go to the hospital now, and they're just walking away like nothing happened.
Immediately after the incident, he went straight to the hospital and was in a brace for a month, but still, there has been no release of records. This is one of the many reasons I constantly remind you to record your interactions with law enforcement, no matter what they think is normal or not.
I went to see the mayor of Chestermere, and he assured me that, you know, this stuff shouldn't be happening and stuff. But then it just kept happening. And so I tried to reach back out to him, and that was Jeff Koval. And yeah, he absolutely wouldn't take my call. I tried to make an appointment to see him, to show him, like, you know, like, this is not right. I'm being victimized. I'm being terrorized by the Chestermere RCMP. I've been assaulted. I've been arrested. I've been humiliated. I've been injured, not just emotionally, but physically. People that live around me think I'm a criminal, and it's just really embarrassing. But there's no accountability. They just keep doing it and getting away with it. They don't need a crime. They don't need probable cause. They make that up after. And they also just say, just deal with it in court.
And that same man was later attacked by another police department in Alberta.
Not surprisingly, it isn't the first time he's been assaulted by Canadian officers.
8295 is my badge.
8295, and what's your name? Your name is right there. You're covering it with your mic.
Step out of the vehicle, you're under arrest.
I can't step out of the vehicle.
Step out of the vehicle, you're under arrest.
I can't walk. Do you hear me, sir? I can't walk. I can't walk. I can't walk, you idiot. I can't walk. Get away from me. Get away from me. You can't open my door like that.
Go ahead.
No, then he just drives away.
And now, in the summer of 2023, he was driving to pick up a few things to celebrate his birthday, when Deputy Couchet of the Chestermere Sheriff's Office got behind his vehicle and pulled him over.
Can you roll up your window, please?
Can I what?
Roll up your window, please.
I ain't rolling up.
Yes, you are.
I ain't rolling up. What the f you talking about? Roll up my window.
Okay, could you roll up your window, please?
For what? Is that a lawful f***ing? You pulled me over to ask me to roll up my window?
Yep.
Get the f out of here. What's your name and badge number?
I'll give it to you when you.
You'll give me it now.
You. Okay, you're gonna.
You just assaulted me. What are you doing? I'm a handicap. You goof. You just assaulted me, you idiot.
You're gonna.
You.
ARM struggles to get his phone recording again after the officer slapped it out of his hand. ARM gets his phone recording again after having it slapped out of his hand.
Reasonable amount of respect.
That you put your hands on me. You put your hands on me.
After you were
You put your hands on me. I didn't yell at you. You unlawfully pulled me over. You unlawfully pulled me over. You unlawfully asked me to roll up my windows. You didn't see me with tint, so you have no reasonable article of suspicion that they are tinted. You just did it to be a dick.
No, I didn't.
So go f yourself. I'm not helping you investigate me. Kick rocks, man. Get the f out of here.
Yes, you are.
Get out of here.
Yes, you are.
I can't walk. I can't walk. I'm a paraplegic, you idiot.
Where's your thing?
It doesn't matter where it is.
Okay, give me your ID.
No, you didn't lawfully pull me over. Call another sergeant here. Call another sergeant here. You put your hands on me and assaulted me.
I am all the authorization you.
No, you put your hands on me. I want to speak to someone else.
Talk to somebody else. Talk to somebody else.
If you thought the United States was bad, I'd advise you to stay out of Canada. You see, in the US, an officer must have a lawful reason to pull someone over. This usually means an officer must witness or have evidence that a traffic violation, a civil offense, or a crime has occurred. Otherwise, the detention would be considered a violation of the person's Fourth Amendment right to be secure from unlawful seizures. In Canada, however, law enforcement can pull you over just to see if you have the papers, or to conduct sobriety checks, or even just to see if your vehicle is safe to operate, and they can do all of the above without suspicion of the violation having occurred. Now, technically, they aren't allowed to pull you over without reason, but these allowances let the Canadian police pull over anyone at any time arbitrarily.
I pulled you over
to check you for tint.
making it easy for them to abuse their authority and inconvenience someone, as long as they say the magic words to make it, quote, lawful, unquote. In this case, the state would likely side with their officer and declare that ARM should have assisted the officer by rolling up his window, but Deputy Couchet assaulted ARM after his feelings were hurt, and it's perfectly understandable to want another officer on scene for the duration of the stop.
Give me your ID.
Nope. Absolutely not.
Give me your ID.
No, absolutely not.
Give me your ID.
Don't worry, you already got one lawsuit. Let's make it another one. Let's make it another one, okay?
Okay, give me your ID.
Okay, ask Andrew A. Smith what's going on with him. Go ask him.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's see. You put your hands on me, you assaulted me. I can't wait to go file a complaint.
You're a paraplegic, eh?
Doesn't matter.
It
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Doesn't matter. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. I haven't done anything wrong. I've absolutely done nothing wrong. Leave me alone. You're harassing me now. You are harassing me.
I have given you.
Fucking harassing me. Look at this. He's harassing me. He pulled me over for no reason, and he admitted that. He pulled me over for absolutely no reason. He put his hands on me. And now look at him trying to talk to me. Put his head in my car. He's on my. Get out of here. I don't want to talk to you.
I have given you a legal request.
Get out of here. No, you haven't. A lawful. We'll fight it in court then. I'll see you in court. Off. Give me a ticket if you want. I don't care. I haven't done.
Driver's license, please.
No.
I'll give you a ticket.
Give me a ticket.
I'll give you a ticket. Give me a driver's license.
For what?
For refusing to.
Name and badge number right now.
Yeah, 1519.
1519. What's your name?
Sheriff Couchet.
Sheriff Touche.
Couchet. Kusche.
Okay, perfect.
Good.
Perfect.
Good.
Stop today.
No, I didn't. This is all on camera.
Good. So is mine. So is my front and my back dash cam. Yeah. You don't care. That's how you are out here. Fucking cowboys.
Yeah.
Always trying to rope up, trying to fucking assault me because you are fucking a piece of.
All right. Okay. So give me a driver's license.
I ain't giving you.
Well, you gotta.
Help! Help!
That's right. Help!
Help! Yeah, you think it's funny, eh?
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. You're violating me. You're violating me.
Scream.
You're violating me.
Go ahead, scream.
Yeah.
Scream all you like.
Yeah, you're going viral, buddy.
Yeah, that's right. I hope so. I hope
You're gonna lose your pension. How old are you?
It's none of your business.
Deputy Couchet's attitude towards his stop suggests that he has operated this way for his entire career. Perhaps even worse, only settling down now in his career's twilight years due to the prolific rise in high-quality cameras. There is no fear because there's never been accountability, and he knows he won't be punished for slapping ARM's hand. But eventually, to detach from the officer, ARM rolls up his windows.
Why did you pull me over? Let's get it straight now. Let's get it for the judge.
Okay.
Why did you pull me over?
I pulled you over to check you for tint.
Okay.
Which I am lawfully allowed to do.
Okay, and now that you know that there's absolutely no tint on my window, what are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do, partner?
Roll up.
What are you gonna do?
Roll up.
What are you gonna do? You already violated me.
Okay, no tint.
Yeah, no tint. So you pulled me over for no reason.
No.
No.
No, relax.
No, you relax. You're the one that wouldn't give me your name and badge number and assaulted me.
Yes, I did give you my name.
For what? Because you wanted to see if I had tint? And I don't have tint?
Okay, first of all, you don't have tint. You're not getting a ticket.
Perfect. So why you pull me over?
Because
unlawfully.
Because I want to check you for tint.
Oh, you want to check me for tint? Shouldn't you wait till you see if my windows are up and I have tint and then actually pull me over, you idiot? Like, this is bad police, and I hope you have kids and a daughter that sees this. It's gonna go viral. Okay. You're such a goof, man. You're the worst cop I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, you're worse than Andrew A. Smith.
Oh, brother. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye, sweetheart. Bye, cupcake. Help! This guy assaulted me. I'm going straight down and file a complaint right now.
ARM went immediately to make a complaint.
I'm here trying to file a complaint at the RCMP. I called the RCMP to make a complaint, and they don't even care. They ain't sending nobody.
Asking for an officer to meet him outside due to his inability to walk. And after waiting for an extended period, the RCMP officer that watched the videos of the event told ARM that he wasn't actually assaulted, and that was just his perception of what happened. So, even with cameras, there's no accountability. What happens next then? Well, we could always look on the bright side.
First of all, you don't have tint. You're not getting a ticket.
Joyous day. Never tint your windows and obey all commands, no matter how arbitrary, and you won't get a ticket.
If it can happen to him, it can happen to us. And take a look at what they did to a guy in Saskatchewan.
I don't cover many encounters like this one, but when Tim from the channel Canadian Tractor Guy sent it in, I couldn't believe the way these officers acted and had to share it. Tim is attending a municipal meeting at the town of Asquith, which, under the Municipalities Act, must be open to the public unless the meeting legitimately enters a closed session. The video begins as RCMP Constable Warrington arrives and immediately attempts to use his position of authority to intimidate Tim and force him to end his recording and leave the meeting.
There's no need to record me. There's no need to record me.
Yes.
You heard what I just said to you?
Yeah.
There's no need to record me, so we can turn it off.
But I can. I'm allowed.
Okay. I don't need it turned on. I don't need a camera in my face. Turn it off.
Okay.
I don't need a camera in my face. Please turn it off.
Are you here to ask me to leave?
You're gonna have to leave, yes.
Okay. And this is under threat of arrest?
We can talk about things outside. You're at a meeting you're not supposed to be at right now. There's documentation given to you from the town here, from a lawyer stating you shouldn't be here.
A lawyer?
That's what I was told.
Really? Which lawyer?
You have been on restrictions for a long time, which means you cannot contact anyone in town, you cannot phone the town office, you have to work through lawyers to speak with us because you consistently berate and put fear in the town employees.
Oh. Okay, I'll need your name and badge number.
Let's go outside and talk about this.
Okay, name and badge number, please.
Let's go outside and talk about this.
Okay, well, this is going to be a lengthy complaint.
You can call my staff sergeant, you know his name by this point, so you can complain right away.
Under Canadian law, you can't kick me out of a public meeting unless I've committed a crime.
They don't want you at the meeting. There's documentation.
It doesn't matter if they don't want me. It doesn't matter if they want me or not. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You show me the law that says if you don't want somebody.
Cut me off the entire time?
Well, there's no law. You're not acting on any law.
The lawful use of the property or the meeting where they can't have a meeting, it's mischief. You can't do that.
Prior to the constable's arrival, Tim had not spoken to the council other than refusing to end his recording and leave. The criminal code defines mischief as willfully obstructing, interrupting, or interfering with the lawful use or enjoyment of property. To apply, there must be a demonstrable interference with the lawful use of the meeting space, not merely discomfort or disapproval. If the meeting happened and continued, there's no mischief. In fact, the officer himself later acknowledges that there was no criminal code offense occurring, confirming no grounds for a lawful arrest and the violation of Tim's rights.
They were having the meeting.
They can have the meeting, and you're obstructing the meeting from happening, which it can't happen apparently. It's mischief.
No, I have the whole thing recorded. The meeting was happening. Why couldn't the meeting happen?
Because you're not supposed to be there. And if you're there, they can't have the meeting.
Why am I not supposed to be there?
You have documentation below that you're not supposed to be there.
You have to have a reason for that.
Whatever the document says.
Warrington.
Yeah, okay. Whatever the document says, that's the reason you shouldn't be there.
Okay, right? So, and this document said it's their feelings.
Have you seen the document yet?
I think you guys have a copy of it.
Have you seen it yet?
I think you guys have a copy.
I'm asking if you've seen the document.
Yes.
Okay, so what does the document say?
It says their feelings. It says they don't feel safe with me in there. And I said, well, feelings are feelings. That doesn't mean anything.
But they've given you a reason why they didn't want you there. Is that correct?
But that's not legal.
But the reason is there. So they've given you a reason.
No, it's not legal. I could give you a reason. I don't like you here. I don't like you here. Leave Aspen. I don't like you here.
They don't want you at.
You have a legal right to be here. So you can be here. Just because somebody doesn't want you to be in public.
Difficult for a reason.
Because you're not listening.
I'm listening. But
you are breaking the law. You are breaking the law and you don't realize it.
Even if a lawyer works for the government, their letters carry no more power than any other citizen's correspondence unless supported by court order or statute. In fact, if Constable Warrington were to remove Tim based on nothing but a letter from a lawyer, it could amount to arbitrary interference, freedom from arbitrary detention, and abuse of authority, similar to the Fourth Amendment in the United States. What we will soon find out is that Tim was the one that called for the officer to arrive. He waits for quite some time to reveal that he was the complainant, but the officer immediately began defending the council members without conducting any sort of investigation whatsoever, for no other reason other than because they work for the same team.
I'm attending for complaints.
This is constitutional. You're getting into constitutional stuff now, and I have you recorded. And telling me to stop recording, that can get you to lose your job.
There's no need to record me. There's no need to record me.
Yes.
You heard what I just said to you?
Yeah.
There's no need to record me, so we can turn it off.
But I can. I'm allowed.
Okay. I don't need it turned on. I don't need a camera in my face. Turn it off.
Is that recording? Is that recording?
There it is. I should have turned it on, but I apologize.
So you didn't turn it on in the beginning?
You are so dumb. You are really dumb.
For real. So all the threats you made aren't on your...
Yeah, I didn't threaten you, Tim. You can show that to my... You can show that to...
You threatened me that I have to shut it off.
I asked you to shut it off.
You don't know how much trouble you're in.
I asked you to shut the recording off. So I don't want to be recorded.
No.
Shut it off.
Ask me to leave a public meeting that I am legally allowed to attend?
I said let's go outside and talk about this.
You cannot ask me to leave a public meeting.
Hey, what are we doing today, Tim? What's the plan?
I'm going to sit in there and record the meeting.
They don't want you at the meeting.
It doesn't matter if they want me there or not. I have a lawsuit against the town. It doesn't matter. I can still go in there, man. Like, you can't stop me from attending a public meeting. And if you arrest me for it, you'll lose your job.
So Tim is being very, very difficult right now, obviously. He's going to corrupt. He's being very difficult. Have you guys shown him the document where you don't want him? Has he seen a copy of that yet?
Oh my goodness, yes. It's been sent to...
Is it a legal document?
He's right in the sense that there's no criminal code enforcement here. There's no conditions on our system that say you can't attend this place or this meeting. He's not going with that. So regarding anything else, criminal code offense, I've tried to explain to him that if you don't want him here and you can't go forward the meeting and you're obstructing it from happening, it can be mischief, right? Because you can't have your meeting. But if you're able to have your meeting still...
No, I'm actually going to recess it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you're able to have your meeting still, then he's not doing mischief, right? Because you can still have your meeting. He's just here.
There's a closed session coming up that he will have to remove himself, and that is, we're discussing legal stuff, so he cannot be here. Not just him, not anybody can be here.
Yeah.
It's a closed session, and that's
where we're at. Yeah, do you understand that? Tim, is a closed
That's not a criminal code offense either. You can't enforce feelings. You can only enforce criminal code.
Did you hear what I just said to them?
What?
I just said to them that there's no criminal code offense. I just said that to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not disputing that with you.
Good. Then why did you ask me to leave?
Out of courtesy, Tim. Out of just plain old.
So
courtesy.
now you're the courtesy police.
I'm trying to. You're the subject of complaint in this complaint, and you're the complainant. So I like to, the way I work things is like discuss the parties. Can I talk?
Sure. I'm just saying.
Stop cutting me off. I like to discuss things separately with different people. If they're calling about you, so like you outside to have a conversation with you separately because you're the person they're calling about. I talk to them separately because they're the people that called. So that's why I worked with my 11 years of policing. I took to separate the parties when I go to a scene to maintain the scene. That's why I have to be outside. Okay? So make that very clear. That's why I have to be outside. To discuss with you the aspect of what you want to talk about, and then can come back and talk to them and discuss their aspect. So don't cut me off. I didn't force you outside. I didn't make you go outside. I said, Tim, let's go outside and talk about this, and you did. So you've said several times, I've made you go outside. I didn't make you go outside. I asked you to go outside, and you went outside when I asked you to do that. So let's establish that. I didn't kick you out of the building.
I have a video.
You can show your video all day long. I asked you to go outside, and you went outside. I didn't make you go outside. I asked you to go outside, and you went outside.
This is called gaslighting.
I didn't make you go outside. I asked you to go outside, and you went outside when I asked you to do that.
Are you here to ask me to leave?
You're going to have to leave, yes.
Okay. And this is under threat of arrest?
We can talk about things outside. You're at a meeting you're not supposed to be at right now.
It's rumored that unless you can master the art, you cannot pass the police academy.
You're the complainant. So I like to, the way I work things is like discuss the parties. Can I talk?
Sure, I'm just
stop cutting me off.
Fortunately, the only requirements needed to master the skill is a low IQ, an enhanced ego, a bad memory, or a short fuse.
Telling me to stop recording? That can get you to lose your job.
I don't need to turn it on. I need to camera in my face. Turn it off.
It appears that Constable Warrington checks the box on several of the needed attributes.
So you came all this way to enforce their feelings?
I came all this way because there's
for a non-criminal code. But there is a criminal code about intimidation.
I came all this way because they made a complaint.
There is a criminal code of intimidation, and sending me that letter was intimidation.
Can I talk to you?
And you can't do that. And I've sent that to you guys, and what I have is being investigated by Constable Delaney, and I've actually put out the sections of the criminal code in fearing intimidation. You can't intimidate somebody to not show up somewhere by using the threat of law when there's no criminal code violation.
You asked why I'm here.
And then charge them with intimidation.
You asked why I'm here, did you not?
Yeah. And
I'm here because you made it. Can I finish talking?
They should be charged with intimidation.
Can I talk? Or I could just leave, and I'm not going to talk.
Go ahead and leave.
I came here because he made a complaint, so I have to investigate the complaint. That's why I came. The complaint is made, so I have to come and attend.
But the complaint has to be about a criminal code violation.
It can be about anything, Tim. The complaint can be about a cat in a tree.
Oh, really?
And we have to investigate it.
Really?
Yeah. Every complaint has to be investigated by the police. That's what we work.
Okay.
What happens in the end of the complaint, we determine that at the end of the complaint, but every complaint has to be investigated by the police.
So my complaint about intimidation,
You just said Constable Delaney's investigating that, do you not?
Yes.
So there you go. Constable Delaney's investigating that, there you go. So it is being investigated. Is it not?
From what I understand.
There you go. So it's being investigated. So further to that, like I said, today it's not our system criminally where you can't.
Constable Warrington explains that he has no legal way to force Tim to leave, so the council attempts to move to a closed session.
He just won't listen, obviously. I've asked him several times if he could leave and politely as I could. He will not leave, so if you guys choose to pack the meeting up.
We actually are moving into a closed session. He's going to have to leave. And that...
Is that today or?
That's now. We're at the closed session. It's a legal document that we have to discuss, which we have the right to clear the council chambers of everyone, not just Mr. Lalonde, but everyone. So.
But that's for my enforcement of that. I don't know.
I'm not asking you to enforce that. If he doesn't leave, we'll just shut the meeting down.
And that's something you might be there. So I can stay and keep the peace, and I will stand here. You guys want to try and do your thing, I'll stand here and try and maintain the peace if it gets to that. And give that committee to try and have that closed meeting. If he doesn't oblige by that, obviously, you might have to use that or plan B here.
Yeah, we'll just waste each other's time. That's what we'll do.
Yeah. So you want me to stay around, or you try and close the
No,
meeting?
you may as well leave because we'll be leaving. Because unless Mr. Lalonde, you're willing to leave for a closed session. Okay, well this meeting is adjourned at 6:12.
I'll call you and we'll discuss.
Yeah.
Okay, but the charges against them I still want to lay. Oh, you want to make a bet? You want to make a bet? Oh boy, am I going to have fun with you. Can I get your badge number and say your name, please?
You've already read my name tag earlier. So.
Warrington?
Yep.
And what's your badge number?
You've already got my name.
I want your badge number.
You have my name and that's it.
By law, you have to give me your badge number.
That is incorrect.
The constable is correct that there is no law requiring an officer to provide their badge number upon request. However, it is a violation of their policy unless the information can reasonably be expected to threaten the safety of officers. As the session ends, a corporal arrives on scene.
Can I get your name as well?
Yeah, it's Corporal Rao.
What's that?
Rao.
Rao.
Rao, yeah.
Okay. I think we've dealt before, actually.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not that I recall, anyways.
Okay.
So I have no idea what it is. Recording their meeting for here. What's going on?
Well, there's been a lot of illegal things going on. For example, she has been phoning the police about me for everything. She said I was stalking her children. Didn't even know she had kids. They phoned the police about me about everything. They're raising trouble with me. So I have launched a lawsuit. And by their own admission, they are rallying against me because I've made this lawsuit. And I'm going to win the lawsuit. So it's just kind of like, you know, and they keep committing violations. They're presently being investigated for fraud as well and other things. They do a lot of illegal things. The mayor had the town pay for the paving of the front of her hotel, which is part of a renovation, which she can't do. Many, many other things. So I came here and I quietly record the meetings, and I have all my meetings recorded. I've never raised anything. So they say, oh, we're scared of him, we're scared of him. There's no law in Canada that says the RCMP can enforce feelings. You can't enforce feelings. Otherwise, I could say, well, I'm scared of Joe, and he can't go to that meeting because I'm scared there. You can't do that.
Tim now reveals that he was the caller and that the council was not the complainant.
As I've proved tonight to town council, you guys can't kick me out of a meeting because it's against the law. And even coming here and intimidating me like you tried to do.
Well, you called us. So that's
I called you guys to deal with them, and you came in here and started to intimidate me and never once mentioned my complaint. You never talked to me about it, and any time I tried to bring it up, you told me to shut up.
I never said shut up once.
Well, you said quit talking.
Yep.
You're interrupting. So you don't even know what my complaint is with them. But the thing is, the law is on my side. They are actually being contacted by Constable Delaney. I don't know how many, ask him how many times Constable Delaney's inquired about information. But anyways, they're not providing it. And the thing is, I don't do anything unless I'm backed up by the law, unless I know that what I'm doing is legal. It's just a second, it's actually in the Municipality Act that governs all municipalities, that it is against their rules, against the rules that they have to follow, that you cannot bar anybody from a town meeting. Period. End of question. Everybody is allowed. You cannot make any exceptions, and if you do,
For the residents of the community.
you are no longer a council member. You have to resign. And they haven't done any of that. So they're all illegally council members. Now, sending me a letter saying that you sent all these emails and we're scared of these emails, I sent all the emails to the RCMP and I said, investigate these RC. See if there's anything in there. I said, see?
I was going to let you know, do you understand, you seem to have a good recognition of the criminal code, right?
Very good.
Oh, okay.
I have
So
a
do
cousin
you
that's a
understand?
fantastic lawyer.
Excellent. Do you understand what causes disturbances?
Oh, I do.
Excellent.
So that's why I sit there.
You've got to be mindful that if you're tiptoeing along that line, you could be...
You guys should go home and you should phone Ottawa, because I believe Ottawa has spanked you guys and reprimanded you for the way you've been treating me over the years. And then talk to the Crown, because the Crown will not lay any charges by you guys against me ever again, because of all the bullshit you put me through.
I've yet to hear any of that.
Well, I have.
Okay.
And tonight's a prime example. I'll be at the next meeting. And you guys are going to have complaints against yourselves tonight. And I'm going to have very good complaints against you for the way you spoke to me and the fact that you're not allowed to enforce feelings in Canada. And that's what you did here tonight. You came in an intimidative mode to try and intimidate me into leaving, when in fact I had every legal right to be here.
I asked to leave and you left with me voluntarily. So that's what you did. I didn't intimidate you. I asked to turn the camera off.
You were intimidating me.
You may feel that way.
And you can't even ask me to leave a public place.
I can as a police officer.
For what? I committed no crime.
Because there's a call to the police to come to this location to investigate what could be a crime, which we did. So in response to the complaint, I can say I want to separate people to make sure people are safe at a scene and parties are separated.
Well, that's what I asked for earlier today. Because these guys are breaking the law, and we're investigating it now, and they're upset because I have...
But I got a question.
Just a second. I have
intimidated. Why would you go to people that you feel intimidated by?
Did I say I was intimidated?
Well, you just said that.
I said they were planning violence.
They're sending you letters and stuff like that, right?
Well, they're planning violence too. They've had people sent to my home to intimidate me. And I recorded that, and your guys' Sergeant Little said, oh no, we're not going to lay charges for that. But that's going to come back and bite him in the ass.
You guys can leave.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
The idiots.
Hey, we're not going to call names either, right?
Yeah, I call them names all I want.
The officer warns Tim that yelling in public could be considered causing a disturbance under the criminal code. But under the section, that charge only applies when someone's conduct actually disturbs or impedes others in a public space. Canadian courts have made it clear that the law isn't meant to punish raised voices or hurt feelings. It targets genuine disorder. So while police can make an arrest if the disturbance threshold is met, simply speaking loudly or calling someone names doesn't qualify. For a conviction, there has to be proof that others were truly disrupted.
That's under the Constitution of Canada.
My supervisor talked about cause and disturbance.
Okay.
He mentioned
And that's what you're doing right now.
That's committing cause disturbance.
Oh, because I said I could call them names?
You're yelling in a public place.
Oh, I'm yelling? Okay.
So you're yelling in a public place, that's cause disturbance in the criminal code of Canada. You can be arrested. It's a summary conviction offense. I found you committing the offense, I can arrest you. So if you want to read the criminal code,
you're trying to intimidate me again.
I'm telling you the law.
You're trying to intimidate me. You're trying to intimidate me.
All right, Tim, are you going to go home? Or are you going to leave? All right.
When you guys leave.
I can stand here all night, Tim. All right?
Okay. So can I.
So why are you acting like this? I don't understand. Like
I'm
trying to talk to you naturally,
sick of this shit.
Like normal and calm, and you're getting mad and you're yelling and you're screaming and calling people names.
This guy comes in hot and heavy, and that's all on video. Shut your camera off. What business? What right do you have to tell me to shut my camera off?
I don't have a right. As a police officer, I can respond to the public and say, can you please turn your recorder off or turn your recorder off?
You didn't say please.
I don't have to say please. If I don't want to be recorded by a member of the public, I have the right as a police officer to say, can you turn the recorder off?
And I have a right to continue to record.
And you did. You're still recording, so there you go.
I know. You guys thought you were going to come in here, intimidate me, and get me to leave. I've had enough of these assholes.
I asked to leave.
The way they're treating me in this town is ridiculous.
So why don't you leave this town if you don't like the way they treat you?
Because I'm here. This is my home.
Okay, I'm just asking.
You know,
right?
and I've been here 18 years. In 18 years of going to town meetings, I've never had a problem until Jackie Stobie became mayor. And the first thing Jackie Stobie, the reason I found out she was
also
even
if you don't like the way they're running it, why don't you run for mayor?
Who wants to do that? Do you realize that when you run for town council, everybody thinks they have privileges? You don't have privileges, you have obligations. Are far more drastic than anybody realizes. And you are financially responsible for what you say and do. And they think, oh, wow, we'll just sell this, we'll just give this guy this, we'll just do this, we'll just do that. You can't. What this is all leading to is I have a very, very good case against you guys, and there's going to be a lawsuit over this. And this is just building up to it. Like, the appropriate way would have been to come in and say, Tim can't attend these meetings. Now then, you sent Tim this letter saying that he sent you all these threatening emails. I sent you guys every one of those emails.
So tonight, if you want
just a second, I sent you every one of those emails, and I said, check these over and see if I've made any threats to anybody in any way, shape, or form. And the answer came back, no. All you do is talk about your issues.
If you wish to make a complaint against myself or my partner here.
Oh, I know how to do it.
You can. Excellent. Then
I know how to do it.
Okay. I think we're kind of walking in circles here. We have another call, so we're going to take off, okay?
Take care. Have a nice night.
You as well. Take care.
It's clear as day that Officer Warrington used the threat of his lawful authority to deter Tim from attending the meeting and violate his right to record. The officer was so caught up in the us versus them game that he completely missed that Tim was the complainant, and instead attempted to intimidate him by raising his voice, standing over him, and donning his gloves, as if he were going to resort to physical violence had Tim not complied with his unlawful commands. There is no doubt that the police know who they work for and who they are accountable to, and it isn't the people they claim to serve.
Not to mention the RCMP in New Brunswick illegally detained a man.
There's kids around here, and the first word of that, while I agree with it, is inappropriate for children that are here. Do you not agree with that statement? They're young kids, look. Young kids don't need to see that word.
In August of 2024, Minister LeBlanc gave a speech at Pointe du Chêne Wharf in New Brunswick, Canada, announcing plans to fund repairs to the yacht club and harbor authority following Hurricane Fiona, which had caused substantial damage 2 years prior.
Hurricane Fiona caused millions in damages to the wharf in the fall of 2022.
A viewer named Dustin attended the announcement of the plan. Dustin carried a flag with him that read, "Fuck Trudeau," with the word "fuck" being censored. The public walkway was directly behind and under the speaker's podium, allowing the flag to be seen in the background on several broadcasts. An unidentified person believed to be associated with the organization of the event called the Royal Canadian Mounted Police to attempt having Dustin removed. Several constables arrived and attempted initially to shame Dustin into leaving or lowering his flag.
They see it all the time.
No, but we don't need to encourage it, and you're better than that. You're better than that.
There's a lot of things Trudeau doesn't have to encourage.
You don't have to encourage foul language in the presence of
I'm not
children.
encouraging anything.
Well, by putting up a flag
I'm encouraging people not to vote for somebody that's destroying our country.
I understand that, and that's your right to do that.
I know, thank you.
Okay.
I'll carry on. Why do you call me Michael?
Is that not your name?
What's it to you? I don't know, you just give me a name. It's kind of weird. You say you were at my house.
For me to call you Mr. Rogers?
Call me anything. Call me good citizen. That'll work.
Dustin continues walking and stops to film the officers, as bystanders voiced their approval of the flag.
They're conspiring to arrest me. Them. I don't know.
Similar to the First Amendment in the United States, Canada enshrines freedom of expression in Section 2B of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, guaranteeing freedom of thought, belief, opinion, and expression, including freedom of the press and other media. The Supreme Court of Canada has historically interpreted freedom of expression to include any act intended to convey meaning, such as speech, written work, art, clothing, and flags.
So, we did get a complaint about your presence here, okay? So we are here on lawful authority, okay?
That's fine.
So, because you're the subject of that complaint, and you seem to say that your name is not Michael, do you mind identifying yourself for me, please?
Why would I identify?
Because you're the subject of a complaint that we've received. We're here.
What complaint?
We got a complaint about you being here.
About me being here, what disturbance?
Exactly what I just told you.
No, what disturbance?
Right, I'm not going to play this game with you.
We're
here on lawful authority, and I need you to identify yourself.
No, you don't.
If you refuse to identify yourself, then you will get detained and arrested.
For what?
Obstructing a peace officer in his duties.
I'm not obstructing you. You can do your investigation to see if I was doing anything wrong.
Well, I was told that you were causing a disturbance. I'm here finding you causing that disturbance.
Have I been causing any disturbance?
This is thank you for your input.
He asked me.
I appreciate the input. Okay. We are here because we were called. You are the subject of that complaint. I would like you to identify yourself.
Do I have to?
Yes, you do. You do. Otherwise, you're obstructing a peace officer in his lawful duties.
So if I don't identify, what's going to happen?
Well, if you refuse to identify yourself,
yes,
then you will be arrested for obstructing.
And then what happens after that?
You get charged.
I get charged and released.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But do you really want that hassle for not identifying yourself? I just want to know who you are.
I just don't know why you want to know who I am.
Because you're the subject of a complaint that we've received.
Can I see that complaint?
You can. You can do an ATIP request and make a request.
No,
for it.
Today. Can I see that complaint? Because it doesn't sound.
I just told you exactly how.
So where
you can do access to information.
What was the complaint?
That you were causing a disturbance.
Was I yelling and screaming?
I'm here now. I'm going to investigate.
I'm asking. Was I yelling and screaming?
I'll find out.
No, go investigate.
I'll find out. The first thing
find out first.
First thing I want to do is identify you and find out.
No, go find out first, and then I'll identify.
I need you to identify yourself.
Go find out first.
I'm being really patient with you right now.
You're not being patient. You're trying to force me to identify when I don't have to.
No, you do, because you're the subject of a complaint. Okay, and I'm here and I'm seeing exactly why they made that complaint.
What? Because of a flag?
Yeah.
This?
Not because of just that, but your behavior here, yes.
What behavior?
The behavior that they complained about.
What behavior was that? You're not telling me. You're literally not telling me.
I'm not going to play that game with you.
What game? I'm not playing a game with you.
I'm not playing this game with you.
You're not telling me what I'm doing wrong.
You're recording me. You're going to put this on Facebook. I know the game. I know the deal. I'm not.
I'll also use it as evidence in court when you charge me for something that I haven't done.
You can do that. Right now, you're the subject of a complaint. We're here on doing our lawful duty. Okay.
Yes.
You understand that? You understand that my asking you to identify yourself is lawful right now.
Is it a stop and ID?
No, it is not a stop and ID. This is not a stop and ID. This is not the United States.
No, but what I'm asking, do I have to ID in this province?
You have to identify yourself when you're the subject
if I've done anything wrong, right?
If I'm acting in the lawful duties. You understand? If I'm acting in the course of my lawful duty, which I am right now, okay, I'm responding to a complaint that was made. You are in public place. You're not in private property. You're not at your house. What you do at your home is your own business.
Hey,
right now,
what I do here is my own business too. It's public. You got a problem with that?
No, I don't. To an extent.
To an extent, you guys let fucking naked people walk down the street.
If you're breaking the law, if you're causing a disturbance in public,
I'm not causing one. You're causing one.
We'll figure that out. We're here to find that out. But right now, what I need from you is I need a piece of ID to know who you are.
Well, do your investigation first. Find out if you're going to charge me with something.
I need to identify you.
If you're going to charge me with if you're going to charge me with something, then I will identify.
Okay. Is there a reason why you won't identify yourself?
Because I haven't done anything wrong.
Well,
and you haven't proven that I've done anything wrong.
The complainants have stated very clearly that you've been causing a disturbance.
How about this? If you want to charge me with something,
okay, so here's what we'll do.
I'll identify.
We'll wait for my partner to come back. What I'm going to do, though, however, is I'm going to detain you.
Oh,
pending investigation. So pending investigation.
Now I'm detained.
You. So,
cool.
based on that detention, you're not
Okay.
you're not free to go. Do you understand that?
I'm not free to go. Okay.
And because I'm detaining you, if it were to exceed 15 minutes or unreasonable detention,
It's already been
you can
quite a
start
few
counting.
minutes.
It's only been a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
You can start counting. Okay. If we get past 15 minutes, then I'll give you your right to contact a lawyer. Okay, and I'll read you your rights.
Oh.
Okay. Because you do have that right. If it's
yeah,
to become a detention that's going to be a little bit arbitrary. You understand? You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right now you're not free to go.
I'm not free to go. Okay. Cool.
Right now you're being detained.
That's no problem.
Okay. So we'll just wait here patiently.
Yep. No problem.
Yeah, that means you're not free to walk away.
Not free to. Am I free to stand?
You're detained right here.
Am I free to stand?
Yeah.
Am I free to speak?
Right here. Yeah, you can speak.
Good.
You can talk to me. You can talk.
Am I free to move my legs?
Yeah, right here.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Now, what have I done wrong?
We'll get to that in a minute.
So I've done nothing wrong. You can't say I've done anything
I've already
wrong.
told you what we're here for.
Somebody called.
I've already explained to you several times what we're here for.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to explain it again.
What's your name?
Constable Eric Omar.
You got a badge number?
Yeah, 64719.
What's his?
You'll have to ask him.
I
don't
will.
know his badge number by heart. Believe me, I have no pleasure in harassing you. This is not my intention.
Well, I would think you would be out doing things like arresting
we have
people.
to respond. When we get a complaint, we have to respond to it.
Something like
That's how
that.
it works. When we get a complaint, we have to respond to it. It's just the way it works.
Ah.
You know? We have a duty and an obligation to respond to all complaints that we receive.
Good.
You're being difficult for nothing.
I'm being difficult?
Yes, you are.
I'm not being difficult.
You are.
I don't have to
Sure,
ID for no good reason.
No, you kind of do.
No, you just said I don't.
I didn't say that. I said we're here.
Do I? If you come up to me on a public street and I haven't done anything wrong, do I have to ID myself?
That's not what you're doing, though.
I'm doing nothing wrong.
Well, we'll see about that.
All right.
We'll make that determination as soon as my partner gets back.
Can you get your superior out here too,
I assume
please?
he's talking to the complainant right now.
I hope so. Can you get your superior out here, since you?
He's the superior right now.
No, I want his superior because he's involved.
Well, you can ask him.
A few minutes pass.
I didn't say anything. Actually, the owner of the store asked if I would step aside until the speech was done. I did that. That was polite. And I only did that because they donated money to building this wharf.
A couple more minutes pass, and the officer returns.
You're free to go.
I'm free to go.
Good. You're good.
I'm good. So you detained me for nothing?
Pending investigation. Investigation's now complete. You're free to go.
Where's your partner there? Can I have your badge number and your name?
Absolutely. My name is Constable Bisson. My badge number is 57244.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too, man.
Why was I detained? Why did your partner detain me?
What's that?
Why did your partner detain me?
Did I detain you?
Your partner did.
Well, I don't know. Ask him then.
I did.
Ask him. I don't know. Il pose des questions qu'il a déjà eu les réponses. Okay. Yeah. He's already been answered. He just wants his 5 minutes of fame on the internet.
Oh, that's what you call it? You're the one that detained me. You're the one that made yourself famous.
Hey, sir. Enjoy your day.
You detained me for nothing.
Throughout the encounter, the constable covered his name tape with his hand. It was only visible on a few occasions, revealing that the first few letters were worn out.
They got no right to do that.
No, they don't.
They just have to follow up.
And now I can make a complaint against them.
Good.
Dustin went on to file a complaint and was promised a call from a supervisor, but they never followed up. Dustin attempted to obtain the records for the incident, including the initial complaint, call number, and incident reports, but was told that none of the items existed. The agency would then refuse to investigate any further.
I'm really happy to be here with so many friends in front of me and maybe one behind me as well.
All of these stories were covered by LackLuster. Link is in the description below, and I will be sending him this story as well. Alberta, Saskatchewan, New Brunswick, and now here in Ontario. And X-Men, this is what I believe should happen to all the RCMP tyrants. Not just the ones who showed up to my house, but also the ones who are running this so-called investigation into the idiots who broke down our doors. Them, as well as the idiots in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and New Brunswick. This is what should happen to all of them.
You aren't ashamed? You have no shame. You're not police. You're low-life criminals. Sons of bitches! You're all fired! Drop off your badges and your guns with the desk sergeant on your way out.
Hey, you can't do this. We got rights.
Yes, you're right. You do have rights. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. Take him. From now on, any officer, detective, rookie, or clerk who breaks the law will not just lose their job, they will go to jail. If you turn a blind eye to crime, I will bust you. If you fail to help a fellow officer because of cowardice or apathy, I will bust you!
Thank you, X-Men, so much for watching. Hit subscribe to come next Men today, and name is Gambit. Remember that.